Hey friends, it's Brittany. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back finally to another part of the Sims 4 Zombie Apocalypse. So we are back with our survivors, I guess. And in the last part, we had found a little like rundown motel and we were staying there for a little bit, but then, we got attacked in the night and we were forced to run. And they just kind of ran and ran until they got to the outskirts of the city and they found this random house, which, by the way, the creator of the house left a comment on the last video, which I thought was amazing. So, I will have the name, I will have their gallery name in the description. They found this house, and that's where the last part ended, was they had just gotten in and they were just chilling in the entryway. So, it's very traumatizing for our baby here. Excuse me, Hope. She saw her parents attacking someone. And, I don't know how well she's coping with this because, to be honest, I don't know how I would cope with it. And she's a child, so I don't know, like, if she's okay. Like, we're all just kind of chilling in this like living room area. They all just kind of came in here and sat down and are just kind of collecting their thoughts about what just happened. She was to chat with her sister. I'm so sorry, Hope. Um, but yeah, they're all just kind of chilling in here and kind of just thinking, like about everything that had just happened. And as you can see, their needs are terrible. Y'all, I am such an idiot. I hate myself. I paused the recording and then I forgot to unpause it. Luckily, all we did was checked out the house. I had Corey go around the house and make sure that it was clear, and he just got back in here and was about to tell everyone, and I went to check to see if I was recording, and I was not. I paused it. So, yeah, we checked out the house. There's this up here. We don't really know what's going on with this, but we mind our own business here. So, imagine there's like missing persons things up here. This house is really cool. Like I said, I will have the creator's gallery name on the in the description. So we've also, because this back door is still boarded up, because obviously like we took down the boards on the front door so we could get in, but back door's still boarded up. But Corey moved the table in here just as a second precaution. And then I was saying how I love how the creator did this. I don't know how they did it because I don't build, but I just think it looks so cool. So, like, shout out them. But it is clear we are fine as far as we can tell. And as you can see, Hope is very stinky. They did get to go to the bathroom though, but I did say that I think definitely the power and I think the water would also just be shut off by now. And so I don't really know how Hope's gonna take a shower because she stinks, but she might automatically go and try and take a shower, and I think I might actually have to turn the bathtubs, because I think there's only bathtubs. I'm going to turn the bathtubs the other way so that she can't. So we are all just kind of in here chatting about, like, kind of how everything went down, and, Hope mentions how she feels guilty. She feels guilty that they didn't let that one woman in. Like, she thinks that maybe if they let her in, they could still be safe at that motel for at least another night and they wouldn't have had to leave like they did. And her niece probably wouldn't have gotten scarred for life from seeing her parents as zombies. So Corey's a little bit annoyed because he's like, you really think that letting that woman in, who, by the way, was the reason that the zombies were coming to us, like she was yelling, she's the reason that they came to attack us. He's like, you really think that letting her in would have somehow saved us? Like, you're very naive if you think that. And so they're just kind of arguing back and forth. As you can see, Tamara is kind of annoyed by this. And, these two are really just sitting here quietly. Like, they're not part of this. First of all, she's probably not even paying attention. She's probably just in her head thinking, like, about everything that had just happened. And Amber is probably just kind of, I don't know, she's kind of just observing. She's chilling. She's She's like, I'm not arguing with anyone. I don't feel like arguing with anyone. We just went through something horrible and I just want to sit here in silence. So obviously Hope is not going to take that. Like I mean, I was going to say she's not going to take that sitting down, but she literally is. But she's pissed because she's like, we didn't help her. Like she was a human. We should have helped her. And she's like, and I'm not saying that they still wouldn't have gotten in. I'm not naive. I'm just saying that I feel bad. And you're sitting here yelling at me for no reason. Like, can you fuck off and calm down? Like, I feel so bad for Amber. She's like, you're really blowing this out of proportion. I'm just trying to vent here and you're attacking me. It's pretty obvious that this is really just because they're so stressed and scared. They're really the only two that's arguing. Look at Tamara. She's like, can you guys shut the fuck up? Like, first of all, you're yelling. I don't feel like they would be like shouting yelling though. More like angrily talking. So they're still going back and forth about this, and they've been going back and forth for about a good 10 minutes. And all of a sudden Amber's like, where did Alicia go? She was just sitting next to me. Like, where did she go? No one saw her get up. They were so focused on the argument that these guys were having. Somehow no one saw this child walk away. And, you know, Hope and Corey aren't really listening all that much. They're kind of still arguing. So Amber is not a very mean person. She's very nice. She tries to be nice to everyone. She's not a mean person at all, but no one's listening to her. She's trying to say that, like, whereas Alicia, Tamara is so focused on the two of them arguing, she's like not arguing with them, but she's listening and she's trying to kind of mentally pick a side. I think that's kind of seems like who she is. But, and obviously Hope and Corey are arguing, so they're not paying attention either. And that kind of annoys Amber. Like, she's like, where did Alicia go? Like, you guys aren't listening to me. So she's kind of just really frustrated with them. She's gonna yell at them both. And she's gonna be like, can you guys shut the fuck up for like 2 seconds and listen to me? I don't know where Alicia went. That's Alicia's niece. And she's like, oh shit, like, where did my niece go? So obviously she's gonna try and look around the house for her. I'm gonna have Hope kind of go around and check the house, because she's like, where the hell did my niece go? Like, and how did I not see her? I know I was arguing, but like, I have a responsibility to look after her, and I just let her somehow slip away. Like, she's probably calling out, like, Alicia, where are you? You can come out, it's okay. I'm sorry if, like, our arguing scared you, but, like, where are you? And she doesn't see her downstairs, so she's gonna come upstairs. And now I think she's going to start running around because she's panicking a bit. But she is starting to panic a little bit. She's like, I don't know where the hell my niece is. But she's still trying to be calm because, like, Alicia couldn't have gotten far. She's probably just up here. Maybe she's in the kids' room because she knows that Corey mentioned there was a kids' room up here. So maybe she came up here looking for the kids' room. But, she looks around. She doesn't see it. She doesn't see this. She doesn't. What? Why are there surgical instruments? But anyways, she doesn't see her niece. So she's like, okay, maybe she's in this bathroom. She's just trying to look everywhere possible for her niece, and she sees this door. Corey didn't mention this little attic thing, so she's a little confused. But she's like, well, she's not in here anyway. So she's like, okay, there's two doors here. I'm gonna go into this one. She's not in here, and she's still like periodically, like, she's shouting out, like, Alicia. So she comes in here and she still doesn't see Alicia, and she's like, still calling out, like, Alicia, where are you? It's okay, you can come out. Like, I'm not gonna be mad or anything. Like, you can come out, it's okay. But she doesn't hear anything. She doesn't see her niece, and she's really starting to panic now because she's like, I don't know where the hell she would have gone. And back in the living room, I feel like she's kind of like, the kid's gotta be hiding. Like, maybe she's in, like, I don't know, one of the cabinets in the kitchen. Maybe she's under the bed. She's around here somewhere. She has to be. She couldn't have gotten far. And I feel like she's not really taking it as seriously as definitely not Hope and as Amber is. Corey is still kind of, he's disassociating. No, he obviously, like, it hasn't really sunk in for him that Alicia, a child, is missing. So, I mean, Amber obviously is gonna try and come in here and, try and, like, wait for Hope to come back downstairs and be like, did you find her? And obviously, Hope's gonna be like, I didn't. I don't see her around the house. I don't know where she could have gone. And Amber's like, I'm gonna help you look for her. Don't worry. Like, we'll find her. Maybe she, like Tamara said, maybe she's under the bed. Maybe she's in a cabinet. So they're going to re-look around the house and see if they can find her. While Hope is inside, rechecking the house and stuff, Amber thought that maybe she could come outside carefully, obviously, and just kind of look around a little bit. Maybe she'd somehow gotten outside. Maybe she was just exploring outside. So she just came out to the front of the house and she's looking that way. She's looking that way. She doesn't see her. She already checked around back. She didn't see her there either. She looked in obviously the empty pool. She didn't see her in there. Like maybe she had fallen in there, but she didn't. She's not in there. So Amber sees that there is a neighbor's house and she doesn't know why Alicia would be there, but she's like, that's the only place we haven't checked yet, and it's close to this house. Maybe she just went over there because she heard a noise. Maybe I don't know, she's just scared. They were fighting. She's not sure, but she's like, that's really the only place we haven't checked, so I'm gonna have to go check. So Amber comes up to the door and she notices that it's not boarded up, so she thinks that maybe someone living is still in there. And so she kind of knocks on the door. She doesn't like pound on it. She kind of like lightly knocks on it. She's waiting to see if she can hear anyone. She doesn't. So she's like, okay, maybe they're not home. Maybe it was just recently abandoned. So she tries to open it and it opens so she can go in. Once inside the house, she looks around the entrance of the house and she doesn't see her in here. So she's gonna come into the kitchen and she's gonna look around, but she doesn't see Alicia here. She's gonna come in here. She's gonna look into this room. It's just a bathroom. She doesn't see anyone in here. Amber gets up the stairs and she kind of hears something. She hears what sounds like crying a bit. She's not sure if that's what it is, but she does hear it and she's not sure where it's coming from. So she's going to look in this room first. She doesn't know what kind of room it is, but she's going to look in here first. It's just an office, but she doesn't see anything that could be making that sound. There's no fish in there. Fish make crying sounds, right? But she doesn't see anything in here. So she's like, maybe it's this room over here, which, is there a door there? I have no idea. Anyways, she comes in here and she sees Alicia. So Amber sits in front of Alicia and she's like, why did you leave? You had us so scared. Your aunt is literally beside herself. She's looking around the house for you. And Alicia's like, they started arguing and I was just so sad from seeing my parents and I really didn't want to listen to them arguing. So she's like, at first I just walked away. I walked into by the stairs, that room by the stairs, and I was just kind of standing on this or sitting on the steps and they kept arguing and then I heard you arguing too and I didn't want to deal with it. So I found a window that was open and I hopped out of it. At first I was just sitting in the backyard by the pool that's empty and I was just sitting there and I was just trying to think and I couldn't hear the arguing anymore. But then I heard something next door. I thought it was like a cat. So I went to look, but it wasn't a cat. And then I got scared because there was zombies. So I ran into this house and I ran up here and sat down and I was hoping that someone would come find me. I'm sorry I ran away. Obviously, Amber's like, it's okay. Just don't do it again because you really scared us and it's really dangerous. So please don't do it ever again. I mean, I can't say that you're not in trouble because I'm not your aunt, but I can assure you that Hope is just going to be glad that you're okay. And so obviously that makes Alicia very happy because she was scared that she was going to get in trouble, but so Amber's going to give Alicia a hug and be like, I can't imagine what you're going through with seeing your parents like that. I can't imagine that. But you know that I'm here to talk to you if you need it. And if you don't want to talk to your aunt, you can talk to me. I won't judge you. I will listen to you for as long as you need. I just need you to know that you are strong and you will get through this. I promise you will get through this and you will become a badass. And obviously that makes Alicia giggle a little bit. So Alicia is about to join Amber by the front door, getting ready to leave, but she hears something down there from the basement and it kind of startles her, but she hears like rustling coming from downstairs. And she does remember that she thought she heard a cat earlier, and she's like, if the cat's in trouble, like I want to help it. So Amber notices that Alicia isn't right behind her, so she's gonna come back in here and be like, listen, we gotta go. So obviously Amber's like, what are you doing? We gotta go. And Alicia's like, I hear something. I hear something downstairs, and I think it might be the cat that I heard earlier. And Amber's like, I'm so sorry, but we have to go. We can't risk our lives for a cat that you may or may not hear. And Alicia's like, but please, 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 it would really make me feel better to have a cat that I can talk to because I know I have you, but having a cute little cat would really make me feel better. Please, 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 can we go look and see? Obviously, Amber knows that this is a terrible idea, but she also knows that she's not going to get Alicia out of this house unless they go see. So Amber's like, don't go down there. I will go see. You stay here. So Amber's just coming down the steps, and at first she doesn't see anything. She just sees some shelves and stuff. Amber happens to look to her right, and she sees a zombie just standing here. And she's kind of frozen in fear because she really didn't expect to see a zombie down here. She feels like she would have heard it. You can hear them like growling. She's face to face with the zombie and she's kind of paralyzed with fear because she hasn't really dealt with a zombie not on her own and this close, and she just kind of freezes. She hears from up the stairs Alicia saying, did you find the cat? Is it okay? Can I come down? Amber doesn't respond because she's so paralyzed in fear from seeing this zombie. So Alicia decides to come down. She's like, it can't be that dangerous because Amber seems fine. She hasn't said anything, but she's also not screaming. So surely it's okay. And so here comes Miss Alicia down the stairs to join Amber. And she just, she looks pissed. But she sees Amber's just standing there. And she doesn't really see what it is because she's behind Amber. But then she comes a little bit further and she sees that it's a zombie. And once Amber sees out of her peripheral vision, she sees Alicia, she just kind of snaps. She snaps out of her just being paralyzed in fear, and she goes to grab Alicia's hand, but by that point it is too late. The zombie is coming near them. It's staring them down. And Amber has a split-second decision. She could either run with Alicia or she could use her own body as a shield so Alicia can have time to run. So all she says, she takes a deep breath, and all she says is, Alicia, run. She doesn't really know if this is going to affect the zombie because it's a zombie, but she runs up to it, she hits it in the crotch. While the zombie is focused on having been attacked and he's a little disoriented, Amber flees up the stairs as fast as she can. Amber looks back to make sure they're not being followed, and then she follows Alicia out of the house. They're banging on the front door, telling them to let them in, and the others didn't really know that they were outside. They thought that they were both still in the house somewhere. So they're a little shocked, but obviously they rush to the front door. They're all here. They're like, okay, they're somehow out there. We have no idea how they got out there, but they move that table. They let the others in, and then they swiftly move it back to where it was. And at this point, Hope is just glad to see her niece. Like, it's been like an hour or so since she's seen her at this point, and obviously, as you can see, Amber's terrified from what they just encountered. So I'm gonna have Corey give her a hug, and I'm obviously gonna have Hope give Alicia a hug and just be like, you know, I'll ask you where you were later, but right now I just want to hug you because you had me so scared, Alicia. Please never do that again. Promise me right now you will never do that again. And Alicia's like, I promise, Aunt Hope, I won't do it again. I promise, I promise. So they're all kind of sitting around. Hope looks pissed. The anger has set in. They're all kind of sitting around, and Hope's like, Alicia, where did you go and why did you leave? And Alicia's going to explain that, like, she didn't want to listen to the arguing. She was scared, and she was just trying to, she doesn't really know that she was trying to find a way to cope with losing her parents. She doesn't know what it's called. But she was trying to cope with losing her parents and seeing them do what they did. And she realized that with them fighting, she just didn't want to hear it, and it was overwhelming for her. So she's like, I ran over where the stairs are, and I just sat on the steps, but I could still hear you guys. So I eventually climbed out of a window, and I was just sitting in the backyard for a little bit. I was just sitting at the edge of that pool that's empty. I was sitting there, but then I heard a cat from next door, and so, I was like, maybe it's her. I went to the next door house and no one was there. I didn't hear anything. I kind of looked around, but I didn't see anyone. But then I got scared, so I ran upstairs and I hid in one of the bedrooms. And the next thing I know, Amber comes and finds me. I heard something downstairs. I thought it was the cat that I heard. So uh, Amber went downstairs to check, but there was a zombie down there. And at this point, Corey, he was half listening. At this point, his ears perk up and he's like, "You went downstairs when you didn't know what was down there? Like, why didn't you check down there?" And Amber's like, "I didn't know that there was a basement. My focus was on finding Alicia." And Corey's like, "You should have checked the whole house. Like, I've been trying to tell you that that's what you need to do." And Tamara's like, "Well, what the hell did you find down there anyway?" And Amber's like, "There was a zombie down there." And obviously Corey's freaking out. He's like, "There was a zombie down there. Please tell me you just ran out of the room." And Amber was like, "Well, I kind of froze." And he's like, "You froze? What the do you mean you froze?" And she's like, "I had never faced a zombie face to face just by myself, and I was really scared, Corey. I just froze." And she's like, "Next thing I know, Alicia's next to me." And then that kind of snaps me out of it. I'm like, I have to protect Alicia. And so I told her to run, and I kicked the zombie in the crotch, which apparently did help, by the way, so just keep that in mind. But I kicked in the crotch, and then I ran, and me and Alicia ran out of the house and ran back here. That's what happened. We're both fine, though. And Corey's like, "You have to be more careful. You know what? I'm gonna start teaching you how to defend yourself." And Tamara's like, "Honestly, I think she did pretty good. She kicked it in the crotch. So I mean, she got away. She did pretty good." And Corey's like, "This is not. You are not part of this, Tamara. This is my sister, not yours." And Tamara's like, "Shit. Okay, damn." So Tamara's just kind of sitting back. And at this point, Hope is still trying to wrap her head around this. She's like, "Okay, you know what? All that matters is my niece is fine." So she's like, "Alicia, please tell me you're never going to do that again." And she's like, "I promise, I promise." And she's like, "But if we find a cat, can we keep it?" And Hope's like, "No." So at this point, Corey is kind of pissed off because obviously, he understands why Amber went off to look for Alicia. He understands that. He knows that they've gotten pretty close. And Alicia's a child. He knows that, but at the same time, Amber is his sister, his responsibility. So he's just pissed that, first of all, that she even did that, but even a little bit more irrationally, he's pissed that Alicia even ran off. Alicia could have gotten his sister killed. And he knows that that's kind of irrational because Alicia's just a child, but he's pissed at her. He thinks that she should be more responsible, but he knows at the same time that that's a little irrational because Alicia's just a child. But he also thinks that Hope's not really, you know, helping Alicia realize the gravity of all this situation that's happening with the zombies. She's like, he doesn't think that Hope is doing a very good job. And I mean, maybe she's not, but we have to remember that Hope is just a kid herself. So Corey is just kind of, he's kind of just sitting by the front door, partly to keep watch, but also partly because he doesn't really want to sit with the others, although he's not very far from them. So I guess if he thinks he's still too close, he might move to the dining room. But anyways, he's just kind of sitting here collecting his thoughts and obviously going through all the terrible scenarios that could have happened. You know, his sister could have been attacked. Both of them could have been attacked. You know, they could have led more zombies back here. They don't even know. Like, there could still be zombies on their way here. Like, Amber comes in here and she's like, Corey, are you okay? And he's like, no, I'm not okay. You could have been killed. And she's like, Corey, you would have done the same thing for her. You would have went down there. He's like, don't. No. He's like, no, I would not have because I knew that it was. He's like, first of all, I would have checked down there in the basement first. That's what I would have done. You should have done that. And Amber is, she's getting sick of hearing this. You should have because she tried her best. And that was her first real experience by herself dealing with this. So she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't make you happy. I can't make you proud. I'm tired of it. Amber's just gonna come back in here and she's gonna stop trying with her brother at this point. She's pissed. As Amber walks away, Corey says something that he might regret. He said, God, I wish I never came to get you. And the room gets silent. Everyone stops talking. You know, these two, Hope and Alicia, were kind of talking a little bit, but after Corey said that, like, the room gets quiet. Amber just takes her seat and, you know, she doesn't want Corey to see it, but she just starts crying. And obviously the other three, well, I mean, Alicia's not really looking, but the other three can see that she's crying, and Hope looks pissed that he said that. Like I said, Corey probably will regret saying that later just because he's pissed right now, and he loves his sister. So I don't know, he's going to regret that later. Like, you know, you say things that you don't mean in the moment, and then once you have time to reflect, you're like, damn, I should not have said that. But at this point, he's not thinking that. In fact, he's gonna come into the dining room just so he's further away and he's gonna sit here. If you sit there and think about what you've done. No, he's gonna sit there and he's just gonna kind of ruminate, you know, he's gonna be there with his thoughts while Corey is in the dining room throwing a bit of a temper tantrum. The girls are just in here. They're just kind of, the other three besides Amber are kind of talking, not really talking about much. They're kind of just talking about like the food situation and also how they all kind of stink. And Amber's just sitting there quietly because she really can't believe her brother just said that to her. Like, you know, her brother has always looked out for her and she's just really hurt right now. So Amber comes upstairs and she just decides to lay in this bed and just kind of, you know, be by herself. Part of her's like, he probably didn't mean it, but at the same time, like, he said it so sincerely. And he was so mad, but she's at the same time, she's like, no, no, he's an asshole. I did what I thought was best. Yes, I should have looked in the basement, but I will learn from that. She's like, I will make sure to check every inch of the house next time. She's like, I will learn from this. And he doesn't understand that. I don't know how she's about to flush the toilet, but she's going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to have these two chat. They haven't really had a chance to. And I'm going to have them kind of chat a bit about, you know, the day. And Tamara is one of those people that kind of gives unsolicited opinions and advice. Tamara's like, are you sure you know what you're doing with your niece? And she's like, she's a great kid. You know, as far as kids go, I don't like kids, but she's a great kid. She's quiet, which is good. It's what you want in a kid. And I mean, she's for the most part well behaved. But you're a child too. Do you know what the hell you're doing with her? Hope's like, obviously not. I don't, but she's my niece. I have to look out for her. And Tamara's like, maybe, have you ever thought that maybe it would be best if she wasn't having to deal with this life now? And Hope's like, what the fuck are you saying? And Tamara's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, do you think that it would be best if Alicia maybe had died with her parents? And Hope can't even believe what she's hearing because this has never crossed her mind. Like, even though she was thrown for a loop having to look out for her niece, she wouldn't, like, she did never thought of this. So she's pissed. You know, here she was trying to talk to Tamara, and then Tamara says this shit. Like, she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? like, you can't, why are you saying that to me? She's a child, and you're saying you think it's best if I just kill her? Like, what are you, or she becomes a zombie? Like, are you out of your goddamn mind? Like, seriously. And Tamara's like, listen, I was just trying to help. I was just trying to make sure that you saw things from different angles, and you're overwhelmed. I can see that. And Hope is like, me and my niece are not your concern. She's like, you need to mind your own damn business, or we will have a problem. And Tamara's like, first of all, you're like 16, so. And that's not what she said. Tamara's like, fine, you know what, fine. I won't give my opinion anymore. And Hope's like, I didn't even ask for your damn opinion. And with that, Hope is going to walk away because she's done. She's like, maybe we shouldn't have grouped up with these people because Corey's being an asshole. Tamara is being a bigger asshole. The only one that's not being an asshole is Amber. Amber risked her life to save Hope's niece. So she's like, should I take my niece and run? Is that a good idea? Because I don't know if we could survive just the two of us. But at the same time, I don't think I want to be with these guys anymore. Hope is going to do some thinking on the bed here about what is best for her and her niece. And, after Tamara said that, she can't help but feel like maybe Alicia might be in danger. She doesn't think that Tamara would hurt her niece, but she kind of can't take any risks like this, right? Like, what if Tamara hurts her niece? What if she kills her? What if she, purposely, I don't know, gets her bitten or something? These are all the things that are going through Hope's mind, and she doesn't know what to do. You know, she wishes that her dad or her sister were here to help her and figure out what to do, but it's just her. It's just her looking after her niece who she barely knows, but she thinks that she's trying to think rationally. She's trying to think what would be best for Alicia. Like, not for me. I don't matter. She does matter, but this is what she's thinking. I don't matter. All that matters is my niece. What is best for her? Is staying with these guys best for her, or is going off on our own best because she wouldn't be possibly in danger because of Tamara? She's not sure. So I think she might kind of play it by ear and just keep an eye on Tamara. I don't know if I don't know if she's 100% thinking like Tamara's dangerous, Tamara's going to hurt us, or if she's just thinking Tamara is a bitch and gave her opinion that wasn't wanted. Hope is going to have to think about a lot of things. And then, we have Corey and Amber. Corey, I feel like Amber is really hurt by this, by what he said to her. So I think that he might apologize soonish, but I don't think she's going to accept it right away. I mean, Corey basically said, like, I wish I would have left you to rot in that apartment. Like, if my brother said that to me, I would be pissed at them. So anyways, I am going to end this part here. I hope you guys enjoyed this part. I know it was very drama filled, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.